Welcome to CSC-121 Graphical Python Programming. My name's Ken Clifton. Most of you have had me in the CIS-115 class, Introduction to Programming and Logic. This is a one-of-a-kind class. No other community college is offering a cross-platform graphical Python class. You can read about me if you are interested by clicking the faculty information item on the left menu in Blackboard. Please bear with us as we're piloting these voiceover lectures to guide you through this advanced class. This class requires a good background in Python gained from the CIS-115 Programming and Logic class. As a result, it's a prereq to take this class. If you did not pass CIS-115 with at least an A or a B, you'll find this class to be a challenge because the programs are going to build on what we learned in CIS-115. Well, let's talk about how to get started. First thing you've got to do is the EVA. The EVA is going to unlock the rest of the class. And in addition, if you don't do the EVA by the January 22nd due date, you'll be removed from the class and you will not be eligible for a refund. So those are all good reasons to get it done right now. Also, if you wait until the 22nd, you're going to be behind on the first week's assignments. So, after you do the EVA found behind the start here, there's the EVA right there. You can also look at the syllabus. I'm popping into that now, and you can see on the syllabus as well as where I was earlier in the faculty information. You can see my office hours. They are all at the North Campus here in Salisbury. I do have help sessions on Saturday morning. You'll have more information about those later. Here's information on the textbook. If you can deal with an ebook, and really, that's the way I got the book as well. You can print the PDF, so it's not a big deal to get the ebook. And then if you want something on paper, just print the PDF. Right now, the bookstore is selling the ebook for $50. The textbook publisher link that I sent to pretty much everyone that was registered back in December, that link allows you to get the book for $5. So if you can swing that, the publisher is a good, inexpensive way to get the textbook. If not, if you have to use financial aid, then by all means use the college bookstore. But $50 versus $5 is a big difference. Okay, structure of the class. First, let's look at the grade scale here. I'm in the syllabus. Wanted to point out to you, all programs must be your own work, and 10% of your grade. The moment you sign up for the class and go into Blackboard, you'll get 10 points. That's me assuming that you're going to do your own work. If the Stanford Moss program that I run through all the programming assignments, if it picks up that you have copied someone else's work, you'll lose those 10 points. That's 10 points. That'll drop you a letter grade as well as a 0 on that work. So do your own work. There is no group work in this class. All assignments are supposed to be your own work. There's the way things are weighted: 10% for homework, 30% for projects, 40% for the exams, and 10% for the final exam. Pretty much the whole class is 3-week modules, with the exception of the last couple modules on databases and threading. So this first module and the next 4 will all be 2-week modules. The way that is set up, the first week of the module you'll be doing a project. The second week of the module, the exam will become available. And most of the exams are 2 parts. One part is a multiple choice, true, false, fill in the blank. The other part is a project to do, an exam project. So don't wait until the second week of the module to start, otherwise you'll be having to work on 2 projects at the same time, the project grade and the exam project. So first week, get started immediately on the project for Module 1. Okay, so we talked about the structure of the course. Next thing that I wanted to mention to you is that we are using the Qt Toolkit. And if I expand this window, you can see the logo there. Qt5 is a cross-platform toolkit for doing graphical applications. It runs on so many different computers without modifications. There's really not another graphical toolkit that lets you write a program once and run it on a Mac, on Windows, on Linux, on an HP printer, on a Tesla car console, or a Ford car console, certain watches. This is really powerful stuff. So, the assumption in the class is that you'll be using the Tani programming editor. That's what we've tested everything on. The nice thing about Tani, when you install it, you don't have to have administrative rights to the computer. You can actually go to the library here at RCCC and install it. Or most places, because there's no administrative permissions required. The other nice thing about Tani is it gives you the Python, the latest version of Python, without having to do a separate install. And it also gives you a package manager that you can add things to the Python install in a GUI way. So we'll be using that. Once you get Tani, the PyQt5 toolkit is a package that we'll be installing in Tani. There's information in the course orientation about how to do that. So the assumption is you're using Tani. There are other editors that you can use. However, what we have tested everything on is Tani, and that's what we use. So, see the course orientation to download Tani if you need it. Again, you should have it from the 115 class. And that site, if you don't want to look it up in the course orientation, is Tony, THONNY.org. There are versions of Tani for Windows, Macs, and Linux. There is no support for a Chromebook. I don't know of a language that you can use a Chromebook to program on. So there is no way to do this class on a Chromebook. If you have a Chromebook, you'll have to find another computer to use to do the work in this class. Lack of a computer is not an acceptable excuse for not doing the work. Before we get started using the GUI toolkit, you need to have a good understanding of object-oriented programming. You may see that abbreviated as OOP. Module 1 is designed to give you that understanding of object-oriented programming. After you've done the EVA, you should be able to see Module 1's content. The next thing you need to do is to introduce yourself to the class in the discussion board, right here where it says Getting to Know You. You can click in there and you can see that I've already done an introduction. You can then click on Thread Actions and you can create a new thread. So create a thread to introduce yourself to the class, and that is a graded assignment. You'll actually get a homework grade for introducing yourself to the class. The instructions for that assignment mention that you should attach a picture. If you don't want to attach a picture of yourself, attach a picture of your dog or something that interests you. List one thing that you'd like to cover in the class, and also your professional goals. Those are all things that I look for when I'm grading the project. If you leave one of those things out, you'll likely lose some points for that first grade, and you can see when it's due. The next thing to do is the Icebreaker. You'll be able to see the Icebreaker after you've done the EVA. That's what unlocks all this stuff. And you can see I'm popping into course orientation here. There's the Icebreaker quiz. It's going to ask you things about the syllabus. If you recall, I was showing you how much things were worth and what kinds of things are required in the class. So some of those questions on the Icebreaker just come from looking at the syllabus. Here's information on adding Tani, information on adding PYQT5 to Tani. Talks about the required extensions. The testing policies for the class, those are asked about on the course syllabus, and there's a little reference that was available to you in the 115 class. Everything in the Python language on 2 sheets of paper that you can print out. So once you've done the Icebreaker, you should be able to see everything in the class. The Module 1 will be available to you, and you can pop into Module 1 and you'll see what I was talking about this is a 2-week-long module and the items that need to be done in the class. So get started right away. Do the EVA, do the discussion board, Getting to Know You assignment, and the Icebreaker, and then you'll be able to start looking at the material here in the Module 1 folder. I'm putting voiceovers for a lot of the material in here. For instance, right here where it's talking about required for all programs in CSC-121, if you click into that, you'll see the voiceover here that explains what this if _name _ main does when you add that at the bottom of your program. I try to keep these voiceovers down to it nothing more than 15 minutes so that you can watch them at your leisure without having to scroll through the whole video to catch back up to where you were. So there are voiceovers in a lot of these folders. Well, again, welcome to the class. Let's get started. Do the EVA, the discussion board, Getting to Know You, and the Icebreaker, and then pop into Module 1 and get started on the assignments. We'll look forward to working with you the rest of the semester. Good luck.